Whilst we wait for a couple more people to join us, please use this time to introduce yourselves in the chat by telling me your name, your country, and your school. Welcome. If you are just joining us, please introduce yourselves in the chat. Okay, whilst you are introducing yourselves, I'm going to go through today's agenda. So thank you all for joining me for this interactive onboarding workshop, followed by a Q&A today. Like I said, if you're just joining us, please introduce yourselves in the chat so I know who we've got today. But here is an overview of what I will be answering. So the first question is, what actually is the School Enterprise Challenge? Who can participate? How does it work? What is the role of the teacher? How many teachers and students per team? How much time per week? What can you do with your profits? And finally, what are the next steps? I see we have some people writing in the chat. We have Kavita from SBASS in January in India. So welcome, Kavita. We have Flavian representing St. Philip's Naya Bondo Mixed Secondary School. Welcome in Kenya. So nice for you to join us today. Thank you for introducing yourselves. So without further ado, let's get started with the most important question of the day. What is the School Enterprise Challenge? Well, it is a free entrepreneurship program that supports young people to plan and launch their own school business that generates real profits, which they can use to support their school, their wider community, or for a social cause. From idea to execution, it's youth-driven the whole way. During the course of the program, young people learn about business and develop essential life and business skills, such as communication, problem solving, and leadership to become self-sufficient and independent, all whilst having fun. Just take a moment to check the chat. Femi, Drew Phillips, Tech Magna Academy from Nigeria, welcome. And we also have Musa joining us, welcome. So we know what's in it for students, but what's in it for teachers? Well, they join a global network, they gain international certification, and can win prizes of up to $500 US. And schools achieve global recognition and can win a share of $20,000 US in prizes. So there's a lot of money available in prizes up for grabs. Now, who can participate? So the School Enterprise Challenge is open to all schools from all countries, and this includes pre-primary schools, primary schools, secondary schools, and technical and vocational colleges. So you can see there's a variety of different establishments, institutions taking part in the program. However, unfortunately, universities are not eligible to take part. So now we know what the School Enterprise Challenge is and who can participate, but how does it actually work? Well, the program is made up of 14 lessons, which are broken up into 3 simple steps. These lessons provide a structured framework that enables students to explore various aspects of entrepreneurship, which you as their teacher will conduct. So step 1 is all about coming up with a business idea. It's the starting point of the School Enterprise Challenge, where students embark on a creative journey to develop their own business concept. This step lays the foundation for the entire program, and it encourages students to think critically, collaborate, and unleash their entrepreneurial potential. There are 4 lessons in this step, which you can see on the screen now. So we have lesson 1, which is getting started. Lesson 2, the resource assessment and brainstorming. Lesson 4 is the feasibility study. And lesson 5, which is all about financing your business. Moving on to step 2, this is a crucial stage in the School Enterprise Challenge, where students transition from ideation to the concrete development of their business plans. And during this step, students actively engage with the community, they interact with potential customers, and gather valuable insights by observing their competitors. And there are 5 lessons in this step, which you can see on the screen now. So lesson 5 is all about market research. Lesson 6 is operational planning. Lesson 7 is marketing and sales plan. Lesson 8 is all about the financial plan. And lesson 9, deciding how to spend your profits. So I'll just leave that on the screen for a moment for you to look at. So moving on to step 3. This is all about implementation, and it's the final and most exciting step of the School Enterprise Challenge, where students bring their business plans to life and immerse themselves in the actual operations of their enterprise. This hands-on phase allows students to experience the thrill of entrepreneurship as they run their business, sell their products or services to real customers, and generate real tangible income. And there are 5 lessons in this step, which you can see on the screen now. So we have lesson 10, which is all about business management, lesson 11, marketing your business, lesson 12, accounting and record keeping, lesson 13, managing your team, and lesson 14, sustainability and development. And completing the accompanying document for each step is really easy. Within each lesson, you will find questions and designated space to write your answers. These questions are automatically collated and organized into the required documents, so business idea, business plan, or annual report. And this integrated approach allows you to focus on the lesson content while simultaneously building your documents. Access to the 14 lessons is via the online School Enterprise Challenge platform. This is also where you can access all of the free educational resources, such as the mini guides, which explain each lesson, worksheets for students, and help videos for teachers. And you conveniently have everything you need in one place. And remember, the judges will only see the documents that you submit, and this is how they decide who will receive a prize. So now I've spoken about the importance of the School Enterprise Challenge online platform, let's take a look at it together. I have a video lined up for you. The first thing that you need to do is go to the School Enterprise Challenge website. I just want to check that you can hear my screen, my video. If you're new here, you'll need to register. If you have already registered, you'll need to click on the login button. Please, could you let me know whether you could hear that video? I just want to make sure the sound is being shared. Okay, you can hear it. Great. Thank you so much, Femi, for letting me know. You'll need to type in your email address and your password and then click login. We'll land on my school's dashboard in just a minute. And as you can see, my school is called Katie's Test School and I have one team. I'm going to click on my team and you'll be able to see the 3 steps that I just talked you through. I'm going to click on step 1, business idea here, and now you can see the 4 lessons in this step. So we have lesson 1, getting started, lesson 2, resource assessment and brainstorming, lesson 3, feasibility study, and lesson 4, finance your business. Let's click on lesson 1, getting started. You can click anywhere here, or you can click on the continue button. On this page, you will see an introduction to the lesson. It's just loading. Here we are. Here is the introduction to this lesson. And you can also see how to teach this lesson and the lesson learning objectives.
You will also see the resources for this lesson. Lesson 1 mini guide and Lesson 1 dreams poster. You can download these resources by clicking on these buttons. Then, if we scroll down to the bottom of the page, we will see exercises for students. And this is the most important part of the lesson. This is where you write your answers, which will go into Step 1 business idea. The first question asks you to describe your school. As you can see, this question is required. To answer this question, simply click on the text box below and type your answer. You can then click on the Save button and move on to the next question. Question number 2 requires you to upload your dreams poster. Do you remember that we saw this file under the resources for this lesson section? The dreams poster is a really exciting part of Lesson 1. It gets your students thinking about the future and how the School Enterprise Challenge can help them to achieve their dreams. You can either print out our template or draw your own. It is entirely up to you. Once you have done this and your students have filled them in, you can take a photo of them holding their dreams poster and upload it to question 2 by clicking on the box where it says upload your dreams poster here. If you haven't done this activity yet, I strongly encourage you to do this as soon as possible with your students. Once you have done this, you'll have completed Lesson 1 Getting Started, and you can click on the Mark as Complete button at the bottom of the page. If you do this without completing questions 1 and 2, a warning message will appear. You can see here that it says I have some answers missing because I didn't write anything in the boxes for 1 and 2. So I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go back a page, but if you had marked this lesson as complete, you would be landing on the next page anyway. So, once you have completed all of the lessons in Step 1 Business Idea, click on where it says Submit Step 1 Business Idea, which is like the 5th option in the list of lessons. So I'm going to click on this one where it says Submit Step 1 Business Idea. And here you'll be able to view all of the answers you have given in lessons 1 to 4. You can check your answers and then click on the Submit button to send us your document. It's just loading, but as you can see in the background, we have the green Submit button here. And here is all of your team's information, the name of the business, which you'll decide in Lesson 3, the school, country, and status. So, I would review all of my answers. In Lesson 1, we did questions 1 and 2 together, and they would appear here if I had really uploaded the answers. So you can scroll through the page. There are 2 more questions in Lesson 2, then we have a few more in Lesson 3, and there's 1 in Lesson 4. So once you're happy with your answers, you need to click on the Submit button down here, and that is how you send us your document. This is what we will see. So once you click on the Submit button, that is your business idea done and dusted. It is completed. I'm not actually going to do it because I haven't provided my answers yet. You then need to repeat these steps for the rest of the lessons in Step 2 Business Plan and Step 3 Implementation. So I'm going back to my Team 1, and you can see that I've got Step 2 and Step 3 here waiting for me after I have submitted my business idea. It says you have completed lessons 0 out of 5 and 0 out of 5. So once I start filling in the lessons from Step 2, it will appear here as well. You'll notice that there is more than just the school dashboard on the left-hand menu. We have the school dashboard at the top because it is the most important section, and this is where you access all of your lessons. However, here you can access the badges, different business teams, resources, levels, prizes, help and support, our new community feature, and policies. And we recommend that you familiarise yourself with the platform before you start teaching the lessons.
Okay, well, I hope that gives you a clear understanding of how the lessons work and how you can submit your 3 documents. And don't worry if you miss some of the things from the video, because I will share that video alone with you in a follow-up email after this webinar. I noticed that we have a few more people that have joined us today, so if you are new here, please feel free to introduce yourselves in the chat. Tell us your name, your country, and your school. And I see that we have a question that has come through. So it says, if we created 2 or more teams in our enterprise challenge, does it mean we have multiple entries? Yes, absolutely. So however many different teams you are working with, that's how many different business ideas, business plans, annual reports you are submitting. And therefore, each one of those is an individual entry. So for example, if you had 5 teams and they all submitted a business plan, that would give you 5 chances to win the prizes that we have available. So I hope that answers your question. And if anyone else has any questions whilst I'm speaking, please feel free to do what Kenneth did and write your question in the chat or in the Q&A section. So thank you very much for that question. And like I said, please introduce yourselves in the chat if you haven't done so already. So now we know about the 3 steps. I would really like to know which stage of the program you are currently in with your students. So do you still need to register? Have you registered but not completed any lessons? Have you registered and started completing the lessons, or have you already submitted the first document, which is step 1, business idea? It's really helpful for me to see what stages you are in the program so that I can tailor today's session accordingly and help you even further. So please let me know by typing in the chat which stage you are in, or you can simply put the number 1, 2, 3, and 4. It'll be really good for me to know where you are at in the program. I see we have people introducing themselves. Hi Jude from Liberia, Revival Fellowship Community School, thank you for joining us. And Mr. Ken from Pristine Private School in Dubai, thank you for your question, Ken. So like I said, please let me know which stage of the program you're currently in. Have you not registered yet? You've registered but not completed any lessons? Have you registered and started completing the lessons? Or have you already submitted step 1, business idea? It doesn't matter what stage of the program you're at. Any stage is absolutely fine. I would just love to know what stage you are at. Okay, Ken says you're on step 2. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Ken, and being the first person. So you've registered but haven't completed any lessons yet. That's absolutely fine. The next step that you need to do is to start lesson 1, getting started with your students. It's a really exciting lesson because you go through the dreams poster, which is an introductory activity, and it gets students really excited, thinking about the future and how the School Enterprise Challenge can help them to achieve their dreams and their future professions and goals. We also have Jabba, which is in stage 1. You haven't registered yet. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope after this session, you will register your school and get started with the lessons. Femi is in stage 2. So just like Ken, you've registered but haven't completed any lessons. The same as Jude, he's registered but not completed any lessons yet. Well, thank you so much everyone for sharing where you are at. So Ken says, we just registered 2 days ago. Can we still submit lessons 1 to 4? It says deadline was last August. And thank you for that question, Ken. So The initial deadline was the 23rd of August, but that has now been extended till the 25th of September. So it is absolutely doable to complete step one business idea before that deadline. You have about 12 days, and that is plenty of time. You could do it in one morning, for example. And then once you have done step one, which is coming up with different business ideas, brainstorming, getting your students thinking creatively, you can move on to step two. And that's all about writing the business plan. And the next deadline of the year is the 23rd of November. So that gives you 2 months to come up with the business plan. And that is totally doable. We say that it generally takes 20 to 25 hours. So even doing an hour every day or half an hour spread out between 2 months will be sufficient for you to complete both the first and second document by the final deadline of the year, which is the 23rd of November. So please ignore any deadlines that say August. It has been extended until the 25th of September. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the presentation now. One of the questions that we get asked a lot is, what is the role of the teacher? Well, the School Enterprise Challenge puts young people at the centre of their own learning, and teachers act as facilitators, ensuring that learners have the time, resources, and space to take part in the programme, whilst giving them the freedom to pursue and try out their own ideas. And you as a teacher do not need to have any prior business knowledge, because everything is explained in the resources that we provide. And you will actually learn alongside your students. So it's not only a great opportunity for them, but it's also a great opportunity for you to develop your professional skills. So how many teachers and students per team? Well, the real answer is you can have as many different teams at your school as you like. And there should be a different team for each business idea. So we had a question earlier on whether you can have multiple different teams, and that constitutes as multiple different entries. And that is absolutely right. So the more students that you can involve, the higher your chances are of winning a prize for yourself, your students, your school, and your community. So it's really important that you do include as many students at your school as possible, because we really want to reach more young people and empower them with life and business skills. But it's up to you to decide how many teams a teacher manages, but we do recommend involving more teachers so that more young people can benefit, like I said. And when it comes to team size, we suggest having at least 15 students in your team, but you are welcome to involve as many as 45 students or more. And you can have different teams from different grades. That is not a problem. So you could have students who are 12 years old, 13, 14, 15, etc. And they can all be in different business teams. That is absolutely fine. You might also be wondering, how much time per week should you dedicate to the School Enterprise Challenge? Well, to be honest, this all depends on the individual school, and there is no one size fits all. However, I can say that some teachers choose to work with their students on the business as an extracurricular activity during lunchtime, after school, or even at the weekends, but it is entirely up to you. It is really possible to incorporate the work that you are doing with your students into your lessons. And you can see on the screen now, there's a table of suggestions on how you might want to work on the programme in a variety of different subjects. So let me just zoom in slightly. Okay, so for example, you could use your English lessons to create marketing posters, or your business studies lessons to analyse target markets and competitors. And there are so many different examples in this table where you can integrate the concepts that you are developing through the programme into your lessons. And once your school business is up and running off the ground, you'll hopefully be making some profits. And one of the questions we get asked a lot is, what can we do with our profits? Well, the simple answer is anything you like. Lesson 9, deciding how to spend your profits in step 2 business plan, gives you some ideas and inspiration. And your students may choose to reinvest their profits into the business, which is very popular, or donate some to charity. However, at the end of the day, it is entirely up to them, and you should respect their decision. So we're coming to the end of the presentation section of this webinar, but I really want you to be clear about the next steps. So the first question you need to ask yourself is, have I registered? If you have registered, then that is great, as it's the first step on your entrepreneurial journey. But if you have not registered yet, don't worry, you should talk to your school management and see which other teachers want to join you on this exciting adventure. Then, once you have confirmation from your principal and other teachers at your school, you should talk to your students and see who would like to become part of the business team, who would like to get involved. And like I said, your school can have as many different teams as it likes, as long as it's manageable. And the final step is to register for free on the School Enterprise Challenge website. And you can see the link on the screen now. But if you haven't registered yet, I strongly encourage you to do that today after this session. I know we had someone in the chat saying that they hadn't registered yet. That's absolutely fine, but I would really encourage you to do it as soon as possible so that you can get your business idea in before the 25th of September, and then that, optimizes your chance to winning a prize. Femi says, can we get the slides of this presentation? Yes, absolutely, Femi. I am recording this session as well, so I can send you the recording, but I can also share the individual slides with you, so that's not a problem. So going back to the presentation, if you have already registered, you should log into the School Enterprise Challenge online platform and start familiarising yourself with the content. And just like I showed you in the video, you should go through lesson 1, getting started, and read the questions. Then you should get your team together to complete the dreams poster activity. And this is question number 2 in lesson 1. And actually, I'm going to show you the dreams poster really quickly because I think it's really important to show you what lesson 1 actually involves. So please bear with me 1 second. Okay, so let me just okay, so this is our Facebook page. Hopefully you can you see it? There we go. Okay, so this is our Facebook page. And if you're not following us already on Facebook, then I encourage you to do so because we share more updates and more inspiration. So I'm going to take you to the Dreams Poster 2023 album, and we can have a look at some of the amazing Dreams posters that students have submitted or their teachers have submitted on their behalf. So for example, here we have some young students from Nigeria, students from Delhi in India, students from Ghana, lovely photos, more students from India, from Colombia, and they're using the templates that we provide them with. So as you can see in this photo, these students from Ghana are holding the templates that you can print off and get your students to fill in. We'll ask questions like, what would you like to achieve in the future? What would be your ideal future profession or career? So like I said, this is part of lesson 1, and we strongly encourage you to do this as soon as possible if you haven't already, because it does get your students really excited about what the future is to come. So as you can see, we have received so many interesting and amazing dreams posters, and if you submit yours in the next couple of weeks before the deadline, then I'm sure to post it on our Facebook page for everyone to see, and you can share this with your friends and family and other members at your school and really gain that pride from doing something with your students towards their future. So I'm just going to go back to the presentation. Okay, so I was just talking about the dreams poster. Bear with me. And this is question number 2 in lesson 1, and it's really important that you get started with your students. So once you have completed lesson 1, you should continue with the other lessons and steps, just like I showed you in the video. And that brings us to the end of the presentation section of this webinar. And now is your chance to ask me any questions you have about the School Enterprise Challenge. I see that we have a few questions already in the chat, so I'll get to those in 1 minute. But I just want to say that I'm here to clear up any doubts, and it doesn't matter what stage you are at, I'm happy to help. So let's get started. Okay, we have a question. It says, did the students only present artwork? No, so I've just shown you the dreams posters, but that is one of the most exciting aspects of the programme, hence why I wanted to show it off and demonstrate it to you. But they will submit concrete documents, so the business idea where they type their answers, or you type their answers on their behalf, and then the business plan document and the annual report. So it goes a lot deeper than simply printing out a sheet and writing on it and artwork. They get to go into the community, they get to speak to competitors, they get to sell their products, and they get to interact with customers. So there's a lot more to it than simply, doing nice things like the dreams poster, which is of course one aspect of it, but there is a lot. Okay, we have another question. It says, Ogande Special School for the Mentally Handicapped in Homa Bay in Kenya has completed the full cycle and filled its reports and business plan. What next for such a school? That is a great question, because we do really want to encourage your entrepreneurial students to come back year after year and further develop, diversify, and improve their school business. So whether you have taken part before or not, you should go through all of the steps in order and think of ways to really innovate and take your business to the next level. I'm sure that you didn't achieve every single thing that you wanted, and there are opportunities for growth and development. So this is a completely different program if you're coming back for the second time, because your students have a different mindset. They're thinking about what they can do next to improve the business, to generate more sales, create more profit. So there are plenty of opportunities for development, both skills and personally. So we encourage you to come back to the program and start the business idea lessons again and talk about how you are going to develop and shape your idea differently this year. So Kimakwa says that you're from Kaimosi Girls High School in Kenya. You're making liquid fertilizer from plant waste. Well, that's really exciting. And thank you so much for sharing your business idea. I'm hoping that inspires other people who are here today and they haven't started their developing the business idea yet. And as you can see, it can be anything from liquid fertilizer from plant waste to decorations, to jewelry making, to agriculture, anything you can think of. As long as it's a sensible business idea, then it's absolutely fine. So thank you so much for sharing your business idea. Okay, do we have any other questions? I would like to add as well that we do have mini competitions along the way. We usually run 3 mini competitions, and this is an additional aspect of the program, and it's optional. You don't have to take part, but we strongly encourage you to take part when and whenever you can. So as Jude mentioned, the penultimate the one before last, the mini competition that we did was all about creating a comic strip showcasing their business idea but in a visual way. And then we had a prize, which was a masterclass with a business expert. So as you can tell, there are so many different things going on throughout the year, and it's up to you to decide whether you want to participate in these additional activities or not, but we strongly encourage you to do so. So do we have any more questions about the School Enterprise Challenge? Are you unsure about anything? Please let me know. This is your chance to ask me anything you'd like to know. We have already had a lot of questions today, so maybe there are no more. Jude says, please could you send us the slides? Yes, of course, I will send the slides. Okay, we have another question from Kimakwa, and it says, what are the prizes? So let me show you the prizes right now. Please bear with me. Okay, so this information is available on the School Enterprise Challenge website, and I'm just going to show you. So as you can see, I'm on the School Enterprise Challenge website, and I am okay, so this is the landing page. This is the home page of the website, and if you go to about, you can see the prizes we had in 2022, but also the prizes we have available in 2023. So let's have a look at these. Okay, so like it says, there are over 20,000 US dollars worth of prizes available for schools, teachers, and students. And I know most of you are working on your business idea, or you're going to start the business idea. So let's have a look at that. So for example, there are 4 prizes available worth £150 each, which is, 4 prizes is a lot. So we strongly encourage you to get that business idea in, and then you have the chance to win this prize. And then we have higher prizes as you go through the program. So for example, the business plan, we have 600, 700, 800, then £1,000. And for the annual report, which is the final stage of the program, and when you launch the business, which we really want you to all to get to, there is £1,000, 1,100, 1,200, and then £4,000 for the top global annual report. So that is a lot of money that your students could win, your school could win, and you could win. And then we have special category prizes, which come later on in the year. And this is for like I said, they're special, they're individual. So for example, we have Inspirational Teacher Award, Enterprising Student Award, Best Head Teacher or Principal, and that's £400. We have the Sustainable Development Goals Champion. So if you're doing a school business that's really big on sustainability and environmentalism, then there are 3 prizes worth £500 each. So there's a lot of money to be won in the prizes. And you've also asked, how do you receive the prizes when you are in Kenya? We do a simple bank transfer, and we have so many prize winners in the past who have come from Kenya, so you don't need to worry about the logistical side of things. We ensure that everyone receives their prize money at the end of the year. So going back to the other questions, let me have a look. Okay, so I see we have a comment from Jabba, and it says, should the business ideas be related to educational programs, or is any idea acceptable? Any idea is acceptable. It doesn't have to be an educational program like you've said. So like I said, we've got so many different business ideas from all over the world, including a decorating service, after-school activity clubs, handmade jewelry, handmade decorations such as pots, an agricultural one, a farming business. There are so many different ideas from all over the world. So it doesn't have to be necessarily to do with education. As long as it is a sensible idea and not harmful to the environment or to your community, then it is absolutely acceptable. But that is a great question. So thank you, Jabba. Okay, do we have any other questions? If you do think of anything that I haven't answered today, then you can get in touch with us via WhatsApp or via email. Let me just share our WhatsApp number with you. So I've just shared the link, and if you click on that, you'll be taken to our WhatsApp account, and you can just send us a message if you have any doubts or you're unsure about anything, and I would be happy to help. So if there are no more questions for today, we can wrap up the session, and you can get back to whatever you are up to today. You're teachers, so I know you're very busy, but I really appreciate your time this morning in the UK. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you learned something new. I've just shared the link for the WhatsApp in the chat, so please check out the chat and click on that link. Kimakwa. Okay, so I hope you all have a lovely day, and thank you so much for joining me. And I'll speak to you again soon. So goodbye, everyone.